So long, Ultraman Decker. I genuinely love this movie. The movie itself is set a couple of months after the final episode, and seeing our God Select trio grow was great. From trainees to trainers, and now knowing that Taiji is coming back fully as the head of the training school, he leaves God Select in the hand of Raimon as the new captain of God Select. And in my opinion, it's the perfect thing to do for both characters. And also having Raimon becoming a captain of a team, I think it's the first time that one of the main characters really moves up the ranks from, just a simple cadet to a member of the big defense team of the show to, I think it's deputy captain in the finale to captain in the end of this movie. The story of the movie is quite simple. Professor Gilbas is an alien that conquered many planets. He came to Earth to conduct research on the most beautiful way to invade a planet. He uses human spirit and bodies to merge them with other kaijus. We get one new character for this movie, and that is Dinas, that transforms into Ultraman Dinas. She, the character itself, is really great and has a major part in the movie because she is, for the majority of the movie, the only Ultraman. Because surprisingly, Kanata doesn't transform until the final fight. But back to Dinas, her interaction with all of the member of gods, specifically Kanata, were great, and the power that she uses with the dimension cards are really cool, and I kind of wish that was Decker's powers. I said it already once, I would say it again. The story of the movie is quite simple. The script itself is very much leaning on the cast's performance, which they perform each and every line perfectly. You can clearly see the chemistry that everybody has with each other. And I really did love that even side characters that appeared in one episode do show back up. Dinas themselves are really cool. From the suit, I really like how the chest armor kind of looks like. And I really like that Dinas is the only second Ultra with a permanently red color timer. The first one being Nexus / Noah / the Next. And I really like how Dinas' backstory is really close to Cosmos, from a planet that humans, or at least people that kind of appears to be humans and kaiju just live harmonically. And also that gives a great reason why Dinas is not a good fighter. Okay, the movie itself has one big reveal. If you don't want to hear it, skip ahead. And for everybody else that or don't care about spoilers, already watched the movie, you can stay for a bit. Well, we discovered that Ultraman Dyna can just create new Ultraman that looks like him, but still, we learned that from Dinas telling the Gods trio how she got her powers. And also before the big final fight scene, you can see Dyna giving Kanata the powers of Decker. But it's not like the same powers from the show, it's just different powers because he never uses strong, miracle, or dynamic. So yeah, it's big ol' like, hey, you just have Flash. Now here is the thing. Are we saying that Dyna is also a god in the Ultraman universe, like Ultraman Noah? Because he pretty much creates life from nothing. And also, do the people from the Final Odyssey movie are also children of Dyna? Dyna supremacy, boys? Boys, come on, Dyna supremacy. So yeah, in the end, the Decker movie was great. It was a great send-off to Decker and in some way Trigger. I really enjoyed it. I really did. You can watch the film on Ultraman Connection. Is around $7 or $10. I think it's $10 to rent, and I think you have it for a week. And yeah, let's talk finally about my overall thought about the show. I'll make it quick. The show ended almost 2 months ago. I get it. I kind of wanted to talk about the movie and then talk about my final thoughts about the show. And I know it's kind of late, so I'm not going to make it very long because, you know, there is an end credit stinger. And also I have some more news. My overall thoughts about the show, now including with the movie itself, it was really great. But it still felt like an apology series to Trigger. It's like Subaraya kind of sat around after Trigger and like, yeah, that show kind of sucked. Let's give him something good now. There was some problems, and I think it's way more how the show was constructed. I think some episodes should have been before others. It just kind of like switching some episodes, and I think Decker could have been a lot better. But it's still a good show. Let's talk about our cast. Kanata as a protagonist was great. He felt like a real person. I'm sorry that I'm going to compare him to Kengo from Trigger, but I need to, because Kengo felt a lot more artificial. Kanata as a character could have genuinely fallen off into the box of great dude, but he's loud and annoying. But happily, I can say he didn't. He has his quiet moments in the show when he needs to focus on something, and him looking for what lies beyond the fight, and in the end of the show, never fighting it, was actually an interesting move that I didn't expect it to happen. Raimon was a great second lead. His character of being super serious but very caring for his team was great. And when he learned that Kanata was Decker, he was pushing him to go do his job as an Ultraman and not actually be kind of jealous of him. And also I was kind of happy that we didn't got another stupid rival out of him. Ichika was actually really good. Her want to explore the galaxy was a great characterization, and having her being the moral support of the trio was actually also good. And I still remember the actress's performance in the last episode being really damn good. And also she did have one of my favorite episodes, being the one that's surrounding Lord Ragoon. Taiji and Soa, I'm putting them together because they were, in my opinion, the weakest characters in the show. I think Soa as a character was slightly more interesting than Taiji because she had a lot more interesting things surrounding her, like being fearful of the Terra Phaser. I kind of wish she was maybe more fearful of the Sakage/Agabas. That could have been cool. And also kind of brownie points of being a MILF, and also having one of my favorite episodes surrounding her being episode 10. Taiji is good. He's a good character, but he falls into the pit of the captain character. He's not a bad character, but he doesn't really have a lot going. Almost like Soa, but in my opinion at least Soa had something interesting surrounding her, while Taiji was, most of his character-focused episodes were kind of boring. There was that great beginning with him in the first couple of episodes when he talked about Ultraman, and even in my first couple of reviews, I really drew the connection between him maybe making an artificial Ultra, and then I kind of forgot, oh yeah, they did it with Zed, so makes sense, they would not do it with Decker. How much, you know, Dinah's last episode, or at least the episode before the last episode, did have an artificial Dinah, but we're not talking about that. But yeah, like he did have something really cool, and that is saving a young Raimon from Yudara, so that was really cool. I think it was Yudara. I don't really remember the villains from Trigger, to be completely honest, except Kamira. That was cool, but that's pretty much it. Hanjiro was a good comedy relief. From time to time he does get a serious moment, but he's very much a side character to sell you like a Hanjiro toy. That's it. Let's talk about Agabas, one of the better villains that we got since probably Juggler's Juggler. I don't really count Belial. Belial is a already developed character, so it's like, okay, we need to compare him at least to Juggler's Juggler, and yeah, Agabas was great. I think having him be the good guy for the first half, or at least making us believe he's the good guy for the first half, was a really cool idea. It's not an idea that is new, but hey, from time to time it worked. And this time, it worked. And having him reveal his true colors and the reason of him being the bad guy made sense. Because for goodness sake, the humans kill his pupper. His wife was also killed, but the pupper. And his actor was great. Tell the truth, everybody thought for the first time when we saw him, it's like, oh my god, it's ruined from the Mega Master Brother movie. But it wasn't. It was just the bad guy. And he was great. There was those moments when he had those like big crazy eyes and you can see like, oh boy, he's going to do something really bad. Like, gosh, he was great. And to pretty much tie up this review in a nice little bow, this show made me like Kengo. This show made me kind of, not upset, but kind of bummed out that we never got to see Kengo. Genuinely, they made Kengo's character actually interesting. So yeah, this show sits nicely in my top 11. If I would have given it a score, it would probably be a 7.5 to an 8 out of 10. But boys, we need to talk about Blazer and how much I was correct because he's not new gen Gaia. I've told you so, like twice. I'm sorry boys. I'm not going to say I told you so. I'm just going to hint about it. The way the entire kind of scene was shot, it was very much shot to just give us a silhouette and small little details, specifically the way that they position the lightings. But we did get a lot of interesting details. Kind of his color timer being more recessed, kind of like Mebius's color timer being more recessed in his body, his color scheme being blue and red, being the only other Ultra that have a blue and red combo as his color scheme. And on his head he has this kind of like effect parts that glow up in blue, kind of like Ginga does. But the promo itself was a lot more interesting because it gave me small little vibes towards the Ultra N project. With reporters talking in the background, you can hear agents talking to each other and specifically about Ultraman and having code name Ultraman and having the agent say, oh, let's give him a code name. Oh, what we should give it? Oh, Ultraman. There was some text on screen. I'm not sure if it's talking about him or the villain of the show, but it was talking about him being beyond a singularity point and a biochrome helix that strikes across the universe and something about a rising spirit, whatever that means. We did get to see a little bit of his fighting style, like, you know, stance-wise. He kind of looks like how, like, Reboot would fight, so that's going to be interesting. And in the end of that scene, we actually got to see a date. I think it's supposed to be a date, being the 21st of April. Maybe it's going to be a reveal of some sort, kind of like how they did Decker's reveal. So that's kind of interesting, why they're going, like, so fast with, like, oh, let's, you know, do the end credits scene and let's reveal it in April. Like, that's weird. Like, that's really quick, but hey, I don't know. But for now, that's all I can talk about New Ultraman. But here's the thing, this is the farthest we can look for in the future. And I really do want to have some Ultraman content on my channel, but gosh, what can I talk about? We can't talk about the future right now. Maybe you should look back more at the past. Maybe we should look back at the legacy of Ultraman.